Mesa, and she will need an interpreter.
Sheila.
Va a tener 5 minutos.
Dame el teléfono. ¿Cómo te voy a comprar la luz?
Sí puede ver bien el reloj de ahí, ¿no? Acá. Gracias. No es para estar segura que queremos darle su tiempo. Gracias.
Aló, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Jessica Mesa. Voy a hablar en español. Yo tengo algunos pues incomodidades. Tengo un niño en la Mirada, va en TK, en la clase especial. Y lo primero que pues me tiene un poco preocupada y triste es que en el salón de mi niño les han dado reconocimientos. Uno ha sido por la asistencia, el otro ha sido académicamente. Van 2 que han dado y a mi niño nunca le han dado ninguno. El primero por la asistencia, nunca me han dicho por qué, solo pues no le han dado. Entonces mi niño se ha faltado como unas 2 o 3 veces, ha sido porque se me ha enfermado y lo he justificado. No sé si eso sea un motivo, pero cuando yo le pregunté a la maestra qué tenía mi niño, me dijo que pues faltaron 2 más en lo que terminaba el ciclo escolar. Y acaban de hacer otra no hace mucho, igual, a mi niño no le dieron nada. No digo porque mi niño sea el mejor estudiante, no, pero siempre le dan normalmente a los mismos estudiantes el mismo reconocimiento. O sea, no es como que los roten, si son por ejemplo 15 estudiantes, pues ya les dieron 3, 4, pues ahora por mirar a otros, siempre son los mismos estudiantes a los que les dan. Y se me hace pues algo triste porque así como yo como mamá, como mi niño que viene y hace su esfuerzo de levantarse temprano, yo de traerlo, si ha faltado 2 horas ha sido justificado porque se ha enfermado, no porque quiera, y no le den un conocimiento, ya sea de attendance o sea de académicamente, pues se me hace algo no muy bien. Y sí me gustaría, pues que eso si se pudiera, no sé, modificar o que se pudiera hacer para que uno como mamá que hace su esfuerzo y mi niño pues se motive y no nada más siempre a las mismas personas, a los mismos niños, porque así pues ni ganas te dan de venir. Entonces eso es algo que me tiene un poco pues preocupada y a la vez triste de que mi niño pues nunca ha recibido nada, nunca me han dicho por qué, solo sé que no le dan, y es algo que sí me gustaría pues si se pudiera solucionar. Sería todo. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Allá fuera de la clase. ¿Te acuerdas que nos dio un morete?
Karina Robles, parent at Will Elementary. She will have 5 minutes.
I'm going to be speaking in English and then in Spanish. And I'm sorry if I don't make eye contact at the meeting. Good evening, board members, administrative staff, fellow parents, and community members. My name is Karina Robles, and I'm here today as a proud but concerned parent of a child with special needs and an English learner in the district. I'm here to speak from the heart, not just for my child, but for other children and for families who feel unheard. First, I would like to talk about trust. Trust is the foundation of any strong school community, but it's hard to maintain when we see the same faces in the same seats year after year. We're asking for term limits for board members. When someone holds a position for over a decade, 10 years or more, it's no wonder parents and the community start to lose faith. Fresh perspectives bring new ideas, accountability, and hope. Without that, we're left wondering, who are we really serving? I urge you to consider term limits to rebuild the trust we are so desperately need. Next, I want to talk about recognition. It's wonderful to see staff from our school celebrated for their hard work. Many of them deserve it. But why are we the parents and the community left out of the process? We're the ones who see the day-to-day impact of their efforts, or lack thereof, on our children. When you hand out awards, give us a vote and a voice too.
Let us nominate, let us weigh in. We're not just bystanders, we're not strangers. We are partners in this journey, especially for those of us with special needs children who rely on every decision you make. Now I would like to address something that weighs heavily on my mind, which is budget. This district spends thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars hiring attorneys to represent and protect itself. Yet when we, the parents, seek advocates to stand up for our children's right, you push back. You try to silence us, to strip away our support. How is that fair? And while we're on the subject of spending, I would like to ask, why is there always money for lawyers, but not for hiring more staff or playgrounds in good conditions, new carpets in the classrooms, soap and toilet paper? Children deserve a clean, safe environment, not a budget that prioritizes legal battles and administrator salaries over the dignity. It is time to rethink your priorities and put our children first. Finally, I'm here to make a plea, a clear request. I would like to ask to stop harassment, discrimination, intimidation, and retaliation against parents and advocates. We're not your enemies. We're fighting for our kids, just like you should be. When we speak up, when we question, when we push for what's right, we shouldn't face threats or punishment. That's not how a school district should treat its families. We deserve respect, not retaliation. Our voices matter and our children's future depend on it. I'm asking you today to please listen, and not just to me, but all of us. Let's just build a district where the trust is real, where parents have a say, where money is spent wisely on our kids, and where no one is afraid to speak up. Our children, especially those with special needs, deserve nothing less. Buenas noches, miembros de la Junta, de administradores, personal, compañeros y padres y miembros de la comunidad. Mi nombre es Karina Robles y estoy aquí como una madre orgullosa, preocupada de un niño con necesidades especiales y aprendiz de inglés. Hoy quisiera hablar de la confianza. La confianza es la base de cualquier comunidad escolar sólida, pero es difícil mantenerla cuando vemos las mismas caras en los mismos asientos año tras año. Pedimos límites de mandato para los miembros de la Junta. Cuando alguien ocupa un puesto durante más de una década, 10 años o más, no es de extrañar que los padres y la comunidad comiencen a perder la fe. Nuevas perspectivas traen ideas frescas, responsabilidad y esperanza. Sin eso nos quedamos preguntándonos a quién estar siguiendo realmente. Les insto a considerar límites de mandato para reconstruir la confianza que tanto necesitamos. Quiero hablar sobre los reconocimientos. Es maravilloso ver al personal de nuestras escuelas celebrado por su arduo trabajo. Muchos de ellos se lo merecen. Pero ¿por qué los padres y la comunidad quedamos fuera de este proceso? ¿Somos nosotros quienes vemos el impacto diario de sus esfuerzos o también la falta de ellos en nuestros hijos? Cuando entreguen premios, por favor, denos también un voto y una voz. Permítanos nominar y permítanos opinar. No solo somos espectadores, no somos extraños, somos socios en este camino, especialmente aquellos de nosotros con hijos de necesidades especiales que dependen de cada decisión que ustedes toman. También quisiera hablar de los fondos. Este distrito gasta miles, a veces decenas de miles de dólares contratando abogados para representarse y protegerse. Sin embargo, cuando nosotros los padres buscamos defensores para luchar por los derechos de nuestros hijos, ustedes se resisten, intentan silenciarnos, quitarnos nuestro apoyo. ¿Cómo es esto justo? Ya que hablamos de gastos, quiero preguntar por qué siempre hay dinero para abogados, pero no para contratar más personal, para estructuras de juegos en buenas condiciones, alfombras nuevas en las aulas, jabón y papel higiénico. Los niños merecen un entorno limpio y seguro. Gracias por su atención.
Alexander Aguilera, 5 minutes.
Unos niños me pegaron en la escuela. Que uno se llama Víctor, que me quería tirar al piso en el cemento. Y luego otro niño me pegó en la nariz. Y un niño me hizo un morete, me agarró de las manos y luego me patearon. Y luego en la escuela hay un niño que se llama Axo que me golpeó en la nariz y dolió. Pero no fui a la enfermera. pero luego me caí en la silla, porque la silla yo no la dejé así. Alguien la agarró para que me caía. Y otro niño que me hacen bullying, a veces me hacen bullying en la escuela. Y luego me pegan y un niño y la se juega al ahorcar. Pero ese niño golpea a todos. Y hay otro que se llama Darian que me pega. Y una vez ese niño que se enoja y luego me pega, me hace maldades, para que ese niño me hace maldades y otros niños me roban. Hay niños que en la escuela que dicen puras groserías. Y hay uno que tira papeles en los carros. Y la maestra a veces regaña a todos los niños, mis casillas. Una vez un niño los niños que me querían sujetar, me hicieron un moretote, dos moretes me hicieron. Porque en la Willow School hay niños que golpean a todos, hay unos niños que golpean, juegan a pelear, juegan a ahorcar. Y luego una que casi me ahoga, un niño el Axel. Ese niño es un niño que ese niño una vez me golpeó y yo fui a la enfermera, pero no fui, eso fue como me caí de la silla. Porque una vez creo que alguien movió la silla para que me caía. Un niño que se llama Víctor, otro que se llama Víctor, no es Víctor Mejía, ese es otro, el que me quería tirar. Mira, ese niño me roba para que se los da a las otras niñas, porque no tengo cosas, y otro niño, el Axel, juega a ahorcar. Y hay unos niños en la escuela que juegan a pelear en la cancha de fútbol. Y juegan a pelear y luego las maestras las regañan, y hay una maestra que los regaña siempre. Nos dice que no corras porque los grita muy fuerte y luego los regaña, pero no le hicimos nada, nomás corrimos y ya. Y luego una vez corrimos y luego la maestra lo regañó. Otra de otro salón me regañó muy feo. Porque es una maestra.
Gracias, Eric. Eric, eres un niño muy valiente y te aseguro que vamos a compartir las quejas y las cosas que te han pasado para que se haga algo, porque yo sé que ningún niño debe de pasar por lo que tú pasas. Te damos un gran aplauso por tu valentía. No es fácil sentarte y hablar de todo el mundo, y tú eres muy valiente. Gracias. Alicia Aguilera, 5 minutes. of the comment.
Hi, good afternoon to everybody. And I'm very concerned. Eric is my son. He's disabled, and he was last year in Sunset School, and he also has bullying in that school. Well, they changed Mr. Burciaga and Mr. Little because I had to get an attorney with this case is still open regards bullying. My son has surgery in the head. They took mass out of his head and he died in one of the surgeries. He's having the same problem in Willow School, and some kids in his class play like holding the neck so you can breathe. It's like a challenge how much you hold the breath, which is a very dangerous game because kids can die regards that game. I don't know what's that game be called, but it's dangerous. A kid, a 7-year-old kids in first grade, they play this type of challenge because that in school regards playing that a specific game can have very causing very dramatic in other kids because they want to keep challenge that game. So it needs to stop the bullying. My son, a 9-year-old and 10-year-old in fourth grade, they beat him up. I was in the news on January 17 regards my son's bully, and I keep making reports regards that, which is I have reports with the district school in Bayer Street, and thus I don't see anything happen regards to still the bullying continually. And sometimes my son, he's scared going to school because that and one kid in there scratch him and punch him in the face like he says. They never call me in the nursing. And I mean, when I drop my son, I'm in very worry. And sometimes I don't know if I should send him or not. He needs to study. The school is for kids. They go practice, go and study, and play to everybody. The school is not for punching and kids become criminals. It needs to stop the bullying. And next Wednesday, the news are going to Willow School regards these women. We're gonna protest regards the bullying against the district school in San Ysidro. They need to do something to defend all these kids. It's not about the moms. The moms are defending our children. And my advocate is Lisa Jeggins, which is he's sending these reports to you guys, and it needs to be in a matter. You guys need to wake up call regards the bullies. It's back in the decades, and it's continually every year. Even each of you guys or your parents or grandparents suffer bullying. It should be a crime, and it should be consequences regards bullying because it happened cases with deadly with students or kids they suicidal. So it needs to stop the bullying. Another thing, it's the security in Willow School follow woman, and it should not because I mean I go there for worry about my son. He follow me. I mean, for me, I feel like sexually harassment, like someone follow me. If it's a security, woman can go as a public school. You can go. It should not security follow you everywhere. The standards needs to know, like if you're not violent in school, it should not like have like perjury or make some false accusations or like not telling the truth because they call to me CPS regards lies, and they take the kids away from lights in the school because they make 2 lies about me with CPS, which is CPS investigate, and it was a lie. It was the district school calling CPS on me, which is not as resolved, and they're taking the kids with lies with the parents legally with lies in school. They make lies to CPS to take the mothers as kids. So it needs to stop. And I would like if you can please listen to this matter because I'm very concerned about my son, and I thank you guys for your effort, and thanks.
Abre tus bolsas. Todas tus bolsas. Estaba buscando esto, religión. Estaba buscando esto.
5 minutos.
No te robé nada.
¿Y puedo leer mi reporte?
Sí, lo voy a hacer. Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Araí. Soy una mamá que tuve a mi niño en la escuela Sunset el año pasado. Yo vengo aquí preocupada porque mi hijo tiene todavía secuelas del golpe que tuvo en la cabeza el año pasado. A mi hijo lo empujó una maestra con de los incendios. Se le hinchó su cerebro, se le hinchó su cabeza. Al momento de hacer reportes, pues no se pudo. Aquí el señor Burciaga dijo que yo era criminal, dijo que yo era terrorista, me mandó a CPS, me hicieron un mega chisme. Yo estoy preocupada y no preocupada, estoy enojada, estoy molesta, porque yo no sé si ustedes sepan, pero por ejemplo en México, en la SEP, les piden requerimientos a los profesores. Mi mamá fue profesora de inglés y falleció a causa del bullying que le hicieron sus propios compañeros. El bullying empieza por nosotros. Empieza por no señalarme, porque el año pasado yo era homeless y me señalaron. Me dijeron que yo no tenía cómo mantener a mis hijos. Fueron a la casa, me dijeron que yo era criminal, pero no, me señalaron sin motivo. Me señaló el exdirector de la escuela. Tengo un caso abierto que todavía no sé qué es lo que está pasando, pero yo vengo aquí a que me graben, a dar mi testimonio, porque el presidente incluso metió la moción de que los distritos escolares deben de ser removidos porque no están siendo lo bastante profesionales que digamos. No tienen carreras universitarias y para mí un simple curso de CPS no es suficiente. Necesitan terminar la universidad. Necesitan no hacer plazas de más de 10 años porque están haciendo corrupción junto con la policía, obviamente, porque también todas las veces que hablé a la policía, su oficial Mark me inventó y tardaron como 2 o 10 horas, pero para otras cosas sí llegan así rápido, pero para cosas de los niños la policía no llega. Entonces, pues California está muy corrupto, esto se ha dicho en las noticias, se va a seguir diciendo, o sea, yo les sugiero de verdad que traten de hacer cambios por su trabajo, por su vocación. Si esa es su vocación de maestros, adelante. Si van a ser maestros y luego administrativos, pues también exijo, yo como mamá, y espero que las otras mamás también exijan, las carreras precisamente de administrativos o de, no sé, human resources, si los van a poner human resources, pues que sean conforme a su carrera, no nada más por palancas. O sea, que se investigue bien a cada una de las personas que trabajan en el distrito escolar, que se investigue bien a todos y que más que nada dejen de hacer perjury en contra de las personas, porque aparte de hacer perjury, te inventan chismes, te dicen que tú eres criminal y solo somos papás preocupados. Yo solo soy una mamá preocupada, mi hija y mi hijo ya no van a la escuela, están traumados, mis hijos no quieren regresar a Estados Unidos, ¿sí? Tienen secuelas psicológicas de la escuela, tienen muy malos recuerdos. El bullying se puede prevenir, no nada más con campañas, no nada más con campañas, se puede prevenir, nada más siendo amables unos con los otros. O sea, la amabilidad y el amor y el compañerismo viene desde casa. Yo quisiera saber si en dado caso puedo entonces yo aplicar para profesora, porque tengo más docencia yo que ustedes, que les hemos dicho como 100 veces que les pegan a nuestros hijos y no hacen nada. No sé si sus hijos van en escuelas de pagas, van, no sé, o ustedes son millonarios, reciben ayudas del gobierno, reciben ayudas de la policía, reciben ayudas de todo el mundo y sienten que son intocables, pero no es así, ustedes solo son personas y nosotros también, y nosotros somos papás muy enojados. Yo en lo personal no me voy a detener hasta dar con el final. Si yo necesito irme a la Casa Blanca a decir todo porque todo esto es evidencia, ¿sí sabían? De lo que ya está siendo no, ya no es una propuesta, ya es un hecho. Van a desmantelar el sistema educativo. Entonces, pues, pónganse serios, porque son sus trabajos los que corren en riesgo. Nuestros hijos van a seguir yendo a la escuela. Ustedes son los que se van a quedar sin trabajo. Y pues, nada, solo les pido que dejen de acosarnos. Por favor, les pido que dejen de acosarme. Gracias.
Roxanne, please.
Which item I asked?
So right now, this one just says public comment, it's 3 minutes.
Which has my 9.1, 12.1.
It's your non-agenda item.
Huh?
Your non-agenda item also.
Yeah, but what about the other ones? I'm not gonna be able to see.
No, you are, but
Okay, I'm
you
just
have to sit here then.
Thank you.
I'm gonna explain the second one, how we're going to manage the time.
Good evening, my name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here tonight as a parent, an advocate, and a firm believer that our schools should be spaces of opportunity, collaboration, and respect, not intimidation and exclusion. But we've been met with not only board members fighting us, threatening us, parents ignoring our voices. We need term limits. We need parents on that board, not career politicians. Let's talk about Willow. Despite all the challenges this school is facing, the principal has failed to step up and create a space where parents feel welcome. Instead of working with parents, she pushes us away. Instead of fixing issues, she ignores them. Instead of embracing community, she actively shuts us out. What kind of school leadership uses police to intimidate parents at an open house? I wasn't being disruptive. I wasn't causing a scene. I was doing what every parent should be doing, being involved. I got to Willow at around 3:25. Open house was supposed to start at 3:30. But yet when we walked in, we were yelled at by staff saying we couldn't come in till 3:45. So we complied, walked back out, and came back in at 3:45. We went to the resource tables, including the ones with resource cops, went to the assembly, and then we got the green light to go into the classrooms. I was accompanying Karina Robles, my friend. We went into Ms. Beltran's classroom. We were treated with respect. We went to room 22, and it's such a small world. I ended up knowing that teacher since childhood. I got a call from Trustee Peraza. She told me our superintendent called her and gave her the choice of telling me to leave or that they would remove me. We were in a harmonic environment, and I didn't want to interrupt the conversation we were having since I was not doing anything wrong. And you right away, it is not the superintendent's job to give orders to board members. 10 minutes later, the principal at Willow, along with the security, told me I was not welcome and that I had to leave the campus. I told her that I was not being disruptive and that was not a welcoming environment for parents, but complied and left. When I walked out, Lisa Yegas was talking to the cops. Mr. Iniguez had kicked her out, even though she was a guest and was not being disruptive. And yet we were removed from the open house, treated like criminals. And it's not the first time parents get threatened with police being called on them in this district. They also didn't let me enter the ELAC meeting at Willow, which they're supposed to be open to the public. I suggest you guys really tell the secretaries, because I'm not doing anything wrong. I want to be involved. I go to all these committees, and I shouldn't have to fight with staff. And I wasn't fighting. I always comply, but it's not fair to give that kind of negativity with parents. I mean, they act like I'm a criminal. I'm an involved parent. Every parent should be going to those meetings, and it's not a welcoming environment. It doesn't matter if my kids go here. I can go to any ELAC meeting if I want. I can go to all 7 schools of them, and there shouldn't be a problem. And the district is facing a $2 million budget cut, and oh man. All right.
So, on your next slip, you're going to get 3 minutes for each of the items that you want to speak on. So you're going to speak on item 9.1.
Correct. Thank you. My name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here to address item 9.1. The awards being presented, I want to say how shocking and hurtful it is to see individuals who have caused harm to students, including my own child, being celebrated tonight. I personally witnessed one of our SPED health aides restrain my own daughter in front of me, grabbed her by the wrist instead of doing something so simple like a visual card, like her IEP specifies. Instead, the first thing she does is grab her by the wrist. I can only imagine how they treat our kids when we're not looking. That is restraint. The moment was not one of care or support. It's traumatic. My child felt unsafe, and now this individual is being recognized with an award. For what? For restraint? For a bad attitude? People working with our kids should be all CPI trained so this stops happening. Similarly, under Ms. Marin's leadership, during the first weeks of school, my friend's son, a student with autism, was secluded. He was left outside alone for hours in the heat, crying, without water, without support. That is not discipline. It's abuse. And they expect our children to have that teacher next year for kinder? No, thank you. It's unacceptable. What do they do? Pretend it didn't happen? No accountability. My friend never received a transfer to Ocean View like she asked, even after having multiple IEP meetings. She left the district. Everybody's leaving the district. Nobody's doing nothing to support the parents. It's traumatizing. And we all know that students with disabilities, they do it even more because a lot of them are nonverbal. They cannot speak. They cannot communicate. This is why we keep asking for staff to be CPI trained. The U.S. Department of Education has made it clear that restraint and seclusion should only be used when there is an immediate danger, and even then, only as the last resort. Yet here in our district, they are being used as tools to control. And tonight, those responsible are being applauded. By giving these awards, the board is sending a message that this behavior is not only tolerated, but rewarded. These actions have caused lasting harm to our children, physical, emotional, and psychological. We could have used this time to do something meaningful, like recognizing Autism Awareness Month. We could have honored our neurodivergent students with their achievements and the educators and staff who truly support them with compassion and understanding. That would have sent a powerful message of inclusion and care. Like Ms. Cara Verduzco, one of our amazing speech pathologists. All the kids love her. The entrance school psychologist, Ms. Reina Leor, she's doing an amazing job. She supported me a lot every single morning. And being here for the students, supporting students and families the way it should be. I urge the board to shift the focus, recognize and uplift the students who overcome systemic barriers every day, celebrate the resilience of our children with disabilities, look to districts like San Diego Unified, where above and beyond awards honor individuals committed to improving outcomes for students with disabilities. The California State PTA also highlights the importance of empowering and educating children with special needs.
Your next item is 12.1.
My name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm speaking as a parent and advocate for students with disabilities. Tonight, item 12.1 is listed as a short presentation on NCI, CPI, whatever. And while I appreciate the idea behind sharing information, what we don't need right now is another presentation. What we need is action. Our children, especially those with IEPs, with autism, with sensory or emotional needs, are being supported by staff who are not properly trained to respond in moments of crisis. That is dangerous and it's unfair for the students and for the staff who are left to figure things out without the right tools. We don't need a presentation from SELPA. We need our staff CPI trained. I know you guys mentioned numbers, but I know for a fact that people working with our students are not CPI trained, and if they are, they're still not doing their job because we've seen it firsthand. They are putting their hands on our children. And we don't need administrators to have CPI. They're administrators. What are they going to do? They're not in the classroom with our children. The cafeteria ladies, they need support. Are they trained? If there's tantrums, there's kids being on the floor. I know there's been many reports by people about that, and nothing happens. Yeah, and it's also about staff being confident, informed, and supported. One training can make the difference between a child being hurt or helped, between trust or trauma. Please, we don't want another presentation. We want a district-wide urgent plan for full CPI training for all staff, every campus, every adult. Thank you.
The next item we want to speak on is 14C.
14C2. Good evening. My name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here as a concerned parent and community member. I want to speak about something that just doesn't make sense. The decision to rehire Mr. Little after he retired, we're looking at a $2 million budget cut, and instead of making responsible staffing decisions like hiring more personnel or freezing high-paying assistant roles, as community members have already suggested in the past meetings, the district chooses to retire someone and then rehire them. I'm sorry, but that's not leadership. That's a bad use of funds, plain and simple. You can't tell families and staff that we don't have money and then turn around and recycle salaries for retired administrators. We're cutting services, we're stretching our teachers thin, and our kids are the ones paying the price. Meanwhile, the same people in power just stay in power, collecting checks from both ends. I think it's 14E4 now.
14B1.
Good evening, my name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here to speak on item 14D.1. According to the agenda, only 5 staff members are being sent to this event, and it's happening in La Jolla. My question is simple, what about the parents? Why weren't we invited to be part of this? Parents are the ones who are in the schools every day, advocating for their children, sitting in IEP meetings, attending board meetings, pushing for better systems, and yet we're constantly left out of opportunities to learn, lead, and collaborate. ELAC meetings are open to the public. Oh, I think I already, but please let Willow staff members that information so they won't deny me access this month for attending their ELAC meeting tomorrow. How is that an event that likely involves decisions or discussions around education? Student support or equity is held off-site, far from the community, with 0 family engagement. 5 staff members, that's not collaboration, that's exclusion. If this district truly believes in shared leadership, transparency, and equity, then you can't keep putting families last. You can't keep scheduling events in upscale places like La Jolla while our parents struggle to even get proper communication from their schools. We don't need fancy, we need access. We need a seat at the table. Where was the invite? Where's the plans to bring this information back to the parents? Where's the effort to build trust and relationships with the people who live here, raise children here, and are doing the work every single day? We deserve to be included, not just informed after the fact. Thank you.
And your last item is 14E.13.
No, I think you missed 14E4.
Not here, but
Okay. Good evening, my name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here to speak on item 14E4. Regarding the Williams complaints, the report says everything is in compliance, but I have to strongly disagree. I don't know how the district can claim full compliance when the fence at Willow Elementary is still broken, and the playground structure is still unsafe and unrepaired, closed off. That's not a minor detail, that's a safety issue. Something our students see and experience every single day. We're talking about a broken fence on a school campus. We're talking about a playground that isn't safe for children. And yet we're here saying all is compliant. It won't be in compliance until it's fixed. That's not acceptable. If it's not safe, it's not compliant. If it's broken, it's not complete. These are not just cosmetic issues. They impact student safety, access to outdoor play, and the overall feeling of care at a campus. When children show up to schools and see things broken or ignored, it sends a message that their environment doesn't matter, that their well-being isn't a priority. So I'm here to say that we want it fixed. We want that fence secured, and we want that playground structure repaired. Not next year, not after the parts get here, or it's ridiculous. Don't tell the community things are in order when the conditions on the ground tell a different story. Do the right thing and fix what's broken. Make Willow whole again.
and 14E.13.
Good evening, my name is Roxanne Palestino, and I'm here to speak on item 14E.13. If this item is about bringing in a program or asking for funding to address bullying, families have come forward, students have spoken out, parents have written emails, shown up to meetings, pleaded for help, and too often they are met with silence, delays, or denial. So now when we see a new proposal or grant application, the question we have is, with what plan? With what follow through? With what accountability? Because right now our trust is really low. What are you guys going to do differently? How will this actually protect students, especially those with disabilities, those who are neurodivergent? We are most targeted and least believed. Are we just applying for funding to check a box, or do you have a clear trauma-informed community-driven plan that includes families, counselors, teachers, and students. We don't need a new poster assembly. We need real systems of prevention, intervention, and accountability. We want staff CPI trained, students supported, and families involved from the start, not as an afterthought. Bullying is not just a behavior issue, it's a safety issue. It affects mental health, attendance, academic outcomes, and trust in the system. So don't bring us another program unless you're ready to commit to doing the hard work that comes with it. We want transparency and we want results. We want to see the change. Give me 1 second, because I'm okay. So I wanted to say, it's not really a lack of funding. It's about misplaced priorities, and who is approving these raises and changes are board members. The same board members who have encouraged parents to grab the cookie and go, same board members who don't have term limits, the same board members who have been here over 12 years. If you guys are not actively working with parents, then who are you serving? If you don't have children in the district, if you're not engaging with families who make up the community, then who exactly are you representing? Unions? Because right now it seems like you're serving our superintendent and her paycheck, not the families of San Ysidro. And speaking of representation, let's talk about Lisa Yegan. Lisa Yegan is one of the only true advocates fighting for us parents, doing the work that board members should be doing. She stands with us, advocates for our rights, and refuses to back down when the district tries to silence us. And how does San Ysidro School District treat her? Like a threat. It's 2025 and parents are more empowered than ever. Whatever opinions people may have about Lisa Yegan in an IEP setting should not be used to discredit the work she does. She's the only one up here fighting for us, standing up for us parents, and we wouldn't even need her if the board was doing its job. Lisa's doing what our elected officials should be doing, advocating for the parents and students of San Ysidro.
Thank you. Now we have items from the board and superintendent, and I'll just go ahead and start at the end of our table.
Thank you, Madam President. Nothing at this time.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I do have a few things to talk about. And the first thing is about the recognitions that we give tonight. So I have a little speech. So as we recognize April as Autism Awareness Month, I want to first take a moment to acknowledge the importance of inclusion, understanding, and respect for all students, especially those in special education. Tonight, I'm grateful for the opportunity to say thank you to the special education staff being recognized. Your dedication, your patience, and your care have impacted many families, including mine. And I want to sincerely honor your work. At the same time, I feel it's important to speak truthfully. While many staff members have shown great commitment and compassion, there have been also concerns from several parents, including myself a year ago, and by witnessing it, regarding the way some students in special education have been treated. Some of these concerns include the use of restraints and situations where students were not treated with the respect they deserve. And it's important to remember many of these students can't speak for themselves, like my son. And I know right now the team is not here, but I hope they can hear it at home. This is why I want to remind everyone that children with disabilities have rights protected by law through IDEA Section 504 and others to receive FAPE, a free appropriate public education. These rights are not optional. They exist to ensure that every student is treated with dignity, supported in their learning, and given the chance to succeed like everyone else. Let me be clear. I support and value the staff who are doing their jobs with integrity and professionalism. You deserve to be recognized tonight. But for those who have received repeated concerns from families, I invite you to reflect. We all carry the responsibility of protecting our students' well-being, and each of us know when we are doing right by them and when we're not. I also recognize the part of the challenge might be the need for more trainings. That's why I invited all the staff working with special education students to consider taking CPI training when it becomes available. It's a valuable resource, not only for responding to crisis situations, but also for helping preventing bullying and ensuring safer environments. The training is offered at no cost through South County SELPA, as the gentleman who was here doing the training. And I would like to work with Dr. Potter to explore how we can make this training more accessible to everyone's schedules, since that's one of the barriers. So no one is left behind when it comes to professionalism, growth, and student safety. My priority as a board member is that every student receives a quality education. I am also committed to support special education rights and parents' rights, because all family deserves to feel seen, heard, and respected in our schools. Thank you. And for other announcements, I want to share that I went to CABE, the CABE conference for bilingual students. This was in Long Beach. Unfortunately, I only could go for one day, which was Friday. And but that day, I was happy with all the things that I saw, the workshops that I participated. One regarding translations during IEP meetings. This is a good training that maybe we can also consider. And I also attended to a presentation from our neighbors at South Bay District or Imperial Beach. And it was so nice to see the presentation because everybody was there. All of the board members were there. And also the superintendent, a lot of teachers, and they're leading here in South County as the best district for dual language programs. And I would love for us to also be part of this recognitions and to have dual language if possible in all of our schools. What I admire from this presentation, from this board too, is that most of them are parents. 4 of them are parents, and 1, I think it's a retired teacher. So it was very nice to see. I felt at home, really, because the parents, the board members were just like me. They were very open to all of the other parents, and they were open to suggestions from teachers, and they listened to their community. So I felt very, very at home there, and I hope we can be that kind of board for our parents as well one day. I didn't attend in person the DLAC and DPAC meetings from the district, but I did watch them online through the YouTube channel from South Bay Community Special Education. And I did saw all of our parents. This is the second time we met quorum, which I'm very happy about. And I was very excited. I saw all of the the members, board members too, raising great questions, raising great concerns, and how to tackle parent communication through the district, and their commitment to to those committees. And also, I think 3 of them went to CABE as well, 3 parents, and they speak very good about that too. And lastly, again, I want to, since we do have the green light for PTA, I would like to invite parents to ask your principals about PTA. If you want to start the PTA, go to them, and you can always reach the 9th district. They are always very good responding to parents who wants to initiate a PTA. They're always excited. And yeah, I also invite principals from all of the districts to have an inviting and welcoming environment for all of our parents and community members, so we can and to give parents the proper time they deserve, and to treat every case as with respect and dignity as they deserve. That's it. Thank you so much.
Irene, okay, I'm gonna try to make it short, but I did wanna thank Alice for coming, who's part of the San Ysidro Educational Collaborative. And I know that's a good organization and they do a lot of things for our community. But this one is particularly very important, and I think that's what we needed, apart from other agencies that have come and have tried to bring programs for our parents, but because of the cost, we haven't been able to. But districts like San Diego Unified, those big districts can. But I want to thank you because I think it's real important for our parents to know that there is their programs and there will be. So hope to have that flyer distributed, and I know it will be, because it's a good opportunity for our parents to go and learn and know that there is help and there is people who care. And the other thing is, I know that nobody's perfect, but I want to say that sometimes parents don't find the door, don't follow procedures, but nobody's perfect. But there are procedures. There are ways you can get help. There are ways. But I don't think you know our community, because there's a lot of things here that you don't know about our community, yet you come and you do make your comments. You have that right. But know what our community has gone through. Know what we've done. Really, I mean, really done with what we have. And I think that special ed is something that we should actually work with, because that's a very important program that has always been here for many years, but we've expanded. And yes, we have a lot of children with autism. We have a lot of children that have special needs. And all of that is very important to our board and to our superintendent and to our administrators. But it's not easy because of what's going on right now. And sometimes I think right now we're all worried. And it's not just us, it's other districts that are worried about the funding, state and federal. And what's coming down, we don't know. They think by changing rules and regulations that we're going to be fine. No, it's not going to be fine, because you need rules and regulations and you need contracts, yes. But we were very fortunate that our community voted for these bonds. But these bonds come with an attachment. That money is to build our schools better in the facilities, because a lot of you that don't know our community, we haven't made one of the oldest schools buyer. We haven't been able to build it again because there's no money. Plus, La Mirada and Smythe are also older schools, and there's a lot of work to be done, even Willow. But it's money that comes, and there's also regulations that come with that we can build here, we can do that. We don't go out and put a wand and fix the playground because you see it destroyed. You don't understand, because we're growing, we're doing that, but it takes time and it takes a lot of regulations of having a license and getting permits to start the work. But the community made their commitment to us by approving those bonds, but they also come with requirements. So come to us and say this and that. It's not that way it works. And we're not in another country. We're in the United States. Hopefully we remain the United States. But there's other issues that are very important, but that hurts me. Because this is where I grew up. I went to school. This is where my children and my grandchildren. And before that, I grew up here. I saw what San Ysidro has done with other superintendents. And you may complain about what, you spend money on this and that. Well, you know what? In order to keep going and bringing these programs and being recognized by the state, by the county, is the first time that I've seen San Ysidro get that. And it doesn't take money. It takes knowledge to bring that in heart, to fight for what we need for our kids, for our community. And I'm proud of that. Yeah, I've been here on the board for a long time because this is my town. You're new to my town. You don't know. You don't know what we've gone through. And if it's your problem that you don't like us, well, then let the voters know when you go out to vote, because they're the ones who voted me in. And I respect that because this is my community. So I want to ask you, please, don't be rude. Don't be disrespectful. If you want respect, I was brought up, you respect me, I'll respect you. I'll listen. And yes, nobody's perfect, but we need to sit and talk and not be disrespectful with each other and use things that you don't, or say words that you don't know. You don't know our community. I can tell by the way you talk and say. You've been here and you have a right to come. And I know that we're a school district that has a lot of homeless families. Well, people now are even suffering more. And that's the most important thing, because you don't see those children that come to our schools that haven't slept well, they don't have where to eat or eat well, and they can't function in the classroom. And that's not something that has helped us in any way, but we're trying. But when the funding isn't there, you can't blame the staff. You can't blame our superintendent or administrators, because they're trying their best they can. And when you see this recognition, I haven't seen this in years. And I think it's great because it helps us to understand each other and respect each other and be honored with that. So I really, with my heart, it hurts me to hear when people come and just criticize and say without even knowing what this community.
And I don't think we should speak directly to the people in the public. To the people in the public.
To anybody. I'm just saying right now that it's very important, but at the same time, it hurts me to hear that because you don't really understand or really know our community. So thank you, everybody, and I thank for the recognition. And I know Laura's not here, the principal, but Connie did a good job, and thank you for assisting us in this evening today. It was very good for our kids to see that. So thank you.
Good evening. Congratulations. I just want to thank everybody who's still here. It is a long meeting, and it was important to recognize